It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Yeah, I'm here. You know I'm here. Okay, the Geno Jones Show coming to you live normally Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. So it's a couple minutes after 6:30, but I am here live and in living color. Thank you for joining me. Please tell everybody you know to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe and share. Screen grab, rip some of the video, chop it up, make it go viral. Please like this and every episode. Binge watch all my back episodes. Please leave your comments in the comments section. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Once again, shout out to all those who want to support my media platform, this show, my voice. It is so important that we support Black-owned media, and you can do that a couple ways. If you would just like to make an individual contribution, if you want to support the show and the channel, be an angel investor, a love offering, whatever you want to call it. Just financially support my media company and this show. You can Zelle me or Cash App. So Zelle is Geno Jones. That's how you spell Geno Jones at number 843. So go to Zelle, type in Geno Jones, then type in the number 843. You can Cash App me, $Dad G Jones. It's all one word together. $, capital D, lowercase a d, capital G, capital J, lowercase O-N-E-S. It's just G Jones without the Eno, with a capital D and a capital G and capital J. $Dad G Jones that would be on the Cash App. All right, let's get rolling, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. Let's see here. We had a lot going on here. Fantasia and Anthony Hamilton were in town Saturday night. So Fantasia, I think she's got a tour going on. I don't know if this is what they call a spot date, but anyway, so shout out to a Fantasia. Shout out to my man Anthony Hamilton. People just, of course, everybody loves Fantasia, even though I heard there was maybe some issues with the sound, which is not necessarily her fault. That's whoever her sound man was. Like they said, her voice, the vocals were almost kind of drowned out a little bit by the music. I digress, but shout out to you, Fantasia. I love you. I didn't get to see you. I was doing my show here live, but folks, like I said, they love Anthony Hamilton also, and talked about how he put on a great show. Traffic was crazy. We have this huge annual 10K race that was on Saturday. Like 30,000 people were in town for that. And the people who were in the race on Saturday morning, Friday afternoon and evening, they had an event for them, and it was all in the same place, basically. Traffic was a nightmare, and I got a chance to broadcast live from this event, a festival called Flower Town. So locally, I just want to shout out to all my friends, fams. I was going to put them all together. All of my family, because my listeners, my fans, I don't call them fans, part of my radio family and my TV show family, But, fans is cool. Followers on social media. Y'all all part of the Geno Jones Show family universe. So I appreciate you, man. Like a Heavy D lyric. Speaking of lyrics, wait till I tell you something about some lyrics. Finally found out the truth behind this iconic ballad. I digress. Anyway, Heavy D had a song, and really, the title, Nothing But Love For You, Baby. I got nothing but love for you, mama. So I got nothing but love for each and every one of you. Thank you all so very, 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 very much. All right. Excuse me. Shout out to all the Americans that participated in the hands-off protest in cities all across America. I think there were like 1,400, somewhere around 1,400 different protests and cities all across America, from Maine to California, and everywhere in between, Chicago, Atlanta, New York City, Los Angeles, Boston. I think they had like 30,000 people. So shout out to everybody. And then shout out to the folks, the black folks that didn't go. I get it. So there's been a debate over the last couple days on social media, on some radio, whether or not black people should have sat this out. Now, let me explain something to you, because, probably saw videos going around on social media when the talk was like the ancestors were saying, "Sit your black ass down," and just look, sit down, sit this protest out, and let these white folks lead the protest. Now, you have to understand the why that sentiment has basically emerged, and why that was a very popular sentiment and attitude within our community and our culture. Because when black people, when we lead movements, all you got to do is just go back to all the George Floyd protests, not to mention all the peaceful protests in the 60s, John Lewis and the civil rights protesters on that Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, and the police beat him to within an inch of his life. Police treat black protesters, black people, black men, and especially black women, are just like extra brutal. And it seems like the state, be it a local, state, or especially local and state governments, are okay with police being extra violent, extra brutal with black protesters. And then on top of it, there's always, in many cases, I know this happens so much with a lot of the George Floyd protesters. A lot of these like neo-Nazi groups, white nationalist groups, a lot of them were intentionally starting trouble. I mean, there were videos of people dressed in all black, but you could see the white, the kind of the white skin was poking through some of the mask. You saw like pallets of bricks were showing up to a lot of, as a matter of fact, I remember one legendary scene in Minneapolis. So there was a white dude that he had like this little device. I think police used it, so he could have been like an off-duty cop. It's like a long piece of metal, and it's got like a ball bearing on the tip. And it was like a auto parts store. I don't know if it was AutoZone, but it was some auto parts store. So this white dude is just walking like this, bink, 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 breaking the glass. And it was a young brother, pants sagging, but he was like, "Yo, man, what you doing?" So he confronted the dude, the white dude that was breaking the glass, and the brother wasn't playing. So the white dude like ran off. But there's so many instances of, you have a lot of these white nationalist groups and these neo-Nazis, and basically these races, especially these violent MAGA cult members that were showing up to black protests that were peaceful, that was starting shit, that was setting cars on fire. This is not my opinion, this is fact. You can find that out for yourself. It's not a secret. But it's, when it comes to, for the most part, you have a protest that's led by white people, especially white women. The police treat white people differently, white protesters differently than they treat black protesters. So the sentiment was, and since we already know that Orange Hitler says, and this is in Project 2025, you can still find a copy of it on the internet and download the PDF. He wanted to militarize local police, basically to almost, he couldn't turn them in, I guess maybe he could somehow kind of deputize them as arms of the military. But basically he wanted to turn local police, or basically what he wanted to do was to use the military, Army and Marines, those in the military, American soldiers, to patrol American streets, especially heavily black populated areas, black and brown areas, and to violently put down peaceful protest. And then you had your white racist agitators, your Oath Keepers and 3%ers and Proud Boys and Boogaloo Boys that would be showing up like cowards, dressed in black with their face covered. Sometimes they didn't cover their face. who were agitating, like I said, showing up with a pallet of bricks or maybe breaking out windows, like that one dude that we believe that was a cop of Minneapolis, the white dude that the young brother with the sagging pants chased off after he saw him literally walking down a straight line, breaking the glass of this auto parts store. So that's going on. That's been going on. So you got a president that wants to sic the military on peaceful protesters. And we know historically that law enforcement always treats black protesters, peaceful protesters, they always treat them with violence. Always. Always. Period. Full stop. Yes, maybe some individual instances you could find where there were protests led by black people where the police were not violent. But the general rule, compared to the way law enforcement treats peaceful white protesters, night and day. And you got a president that wants to sic the military and send them to cities with large black populations. He name-checked the cities, Chicago and Detroit and Atlanta and New York City. When somebody not just shows you, but tells you who they are and what they want to do, believe them, to paraphrase Maya Angelou. So we were like, okay, listen, black folks, we are not going to be cannon fodder for this racist MAGA Nazi, Orange Hitler, and his co-president, who's truly, apartheid, son of apartheid from South Africa, who was throwing the Heil Hitler salute up on Inauguration Day, twice, threw it up twice. The front end turned around, the folks behind him threw the Heil Hitler sign up a second time. So what don't you get? What don't you believe? What else do you have to see? Forget what else you have to hear them say. What else do you have to see them do to believe that these people, evil, sexist, misogynist, and rooted in bigotry and hate and racism? They're not even trying to hide it. So the general conversation among the black community in America was like, okay, because now you see more, even a significant number. I don't know if I should say many, but it might be safe to say many. Still, the majority of the cult, of the white MAGA cult members, are still under this MAGA spell of racism and sexism and misogyny and hate and bigotry and fear and ignorance. But you're having a significant number of these cult members now, because the racism and the sexism was just a tool all along. It's a tool and a distraction. It's a tool to get poor and working class white people to focus on black folks, to tap into and to lean into the bigotry that they may have or may flirt with, or that may be somewhere inside, maybe deep inside, maybe right on the front. They knew that if they used racism and sexism with the majority of poor and working class white people, and the truth is in the numbers. So you can say, well, everybody that voted for Donald Trump wasn't racist. Yeah, but I guarantee the majority of people who are racist and bigots and sexist and misogynist, the majority of them voted for old boy. That I can guarantee you. And the numbers don't lie. And they tapped into it. But the truth was that these billionaires, these white male billionaires, Elon Musk and guys like Jeff Bezos that owns Amazon, this Peter Thiel guy who was a Silicon Valley, he was one of the original people that started PayPal, who financed and put up, he's basically, what J.D. Vance's pimped, or J.D. Vance pimped him because he kind of bankrolled J.D. Vance's career. As a matter of fact, Peter Thiel, South African, the head of the LA Times, South African, even though he's biracial because he's Asian. You can tell he's got Asian blood because he looks Asian. So it's Asian roots somewhere, but he was born and raised in South Africa. So you got this cabal of South Africans whose parents were their sons of the apartheid racist regime in South Africa. They're billionaires that want to return us to those days. When you hear him talking about the golden days when black people didn't have rights, and brown people or those Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters from wherever you may be, the Caribbean, Central America, or South America, from Venezuela, Colombia, El Salvador, which is not Central America, even though people say, well, it's really not. It's really part of North America. I'm not going to get into like a semantics debate about geography, but the bottom line is these wealthy white men who were billionaires, just like the people who wrote the original Constitution. It was written in law. The only people that could vote were wealthy white male landowners. So it hadn't changed. Here we are 249 years later. So you've always had a handful of people, this whole made-up con game of race. It's a con, they call it a construct. It's a con. Handful of Europeans who had all the wealth, the wealth and the political power, created this whiteness to divide poor and working class people, peasants, who were white because Europeans, I've said this 1,000 times on this show, Europeans never called themselves white before the mid-late 1600s. They didn't. But the wealthiest whites say, all right, you know what? We want all the money and all the power. But we got to do something so these peasants, these poor and working class white folks, you won't realize what we're doing to them. So let's create something called race. And to tell them that they need to fear these dark people, that they're the enemy and that they are subhuman, and yeah, they'll come and, with the men with their large genitals like an elephant's trunk, they'll come and rape and ruin your women and kidnap them, and the women are just like Hottentot, just oversexed. They basically, their goal was to dehumanize black people and those from the continent of Africa. Okay? But now, the jig is almost up. Stock market again. Tanked again today. So now, the significant number of these white MAGA cult members are realizing, wait, hold on. My husband was a veteran. We voted for Trump 3 times, and he worked at the VA, and he lost his job, and we just bought a house, and well, what are you gonna do? And wait a minute, these tariffs and my 401k plan, I've lost $400,000. My retirement fund, my 401k money you had saved for retirement, I had $1 million saved, and now my retirement is only worth about $600,000, whatever, $500,000, or we had $100,000 saved for retirement in the stock market, and now it's only worth $50. Since January 20th, 6 trillion with a T, not an M, not million, not B, billion, trillion with a T. $6 trillion in like real money has lost, has evaporated. Those who are in the stock market collectively have lost $6 trillion. That's a lot of money. That means everybody that had any kind of Roth IRA, 401k plan, maybe your own self-managing mutual fund, or whatever kind of, whatever you had invested in the stock market, it has lost value a lot in a short period of time. And this dude has got a hard-on for these tariffs. And he's playing chicken with China And China's like, first of all, we're holding all this billions and maybe trillions of dollars, billions in American debt. Really. So you go ahead and play this game if you want to. And the Chinese government, they're open with their, form of communism or dictatorship, because their President Xi's a dictator, president for life, and Orange Hitler wants to be that. But now they get into a pissing contest. But who's going to suffer? Really, everybody globally now, because the entire economy is connected globally. So I just wanted to, that's my main thing for today. I had to, I'm going to tell you a story about Ronald Isley. I'm going to save that for Tuesday. It's a funny story. One of my favorite songs is Choosey Lover. So I'm going to tell you who the not so choosy lover was in that song. There's a line, Ronald Isley said he found out that his woman was sleeping with someone else. Well, we know who that someone else is, and I'm going to tell you tomorrow. And this person's, he got a history. Keep your woman away from this dude is no longer with us, but yeah, he was. If you got a friend like this, you might want to end that friendship. So before I get out of here, a big shout out to Coach Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks of the University of South Carolina, even though they lost in the championship game Sunday night to the UConn Lady Huskies. So shout out to you all. Coach Staley, Dawn Staley, I am 10 toes down with you. And for all these racist ass, bigoted ass, neo-Nazi, Ku Klux Klan, white nationalists who was saying all this really just racist, sexist, goofy stuff, you all better be lucky that Dawn Staley is coaching your team at the University of South Carolina. Because there's nobody know who or what a Lady Gamecock was outside of South Carolina until Coach Staley came and turned that program around. They had never won shit. They hadn't won jack. Nada. Not a damn thing. Nada. N-A-D-A. Or N-A-D-T. Well, nada is N-A-D-A. Not a damn thing. How about that? They hadn't won nothing. So Coach, and in 9 years, 3 championships in 9 years, and this is that was her fifth appearance, 5th or 6th in the Final Four, and they won 3 championship games. So they've been to the championship game 5 times, and they won 3 in 9 years. How many championships had the University of South Carolina Lady Gamecocks won before Dawn Staley had came? School's been around for, I'm sure, over a century. And how many national championships did the University of South Carolina Lady Gamecocks, how many had they won before Coach Dawn Staley got there? 0. Or nada. Not a damn one. So Coach Dawn Staley, I love everything about you, what you do, even though I'm still saying, once again, parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, since all of these schools and from local, state governments are passing all these anti-DEI laws and taking all the DEI programs out of the universities, including the University of South Carolina, and removing all their DEI programs. So since you don't want black folks around, then you shouldn't want black folks to play on your football or basketball teams. Since you want to get rid of the DEI programs, cool. We can take our talent, our kids, our sons and daughters, and grandchildren and nieces and nephews, we got South Carolina State, right here in the state of South Carolina, 45 minutes from where I'm standing right here, right now. So this can be done. Oh, it can be, don't think it can't be done. So we should folks, don't tell our children, I'm gonna close with this. To all my young people listening, and to the parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, Please, and I want you to think about this, but this is a message that we should be sending to our kids. Don't go where you're tolerated. Go where you are celebrated. Go where you are wanted. Where they want you and all of you in all of your blackness, however that shows up. If they don't want you for your blackness, if they just want you for your basketball or your football skills, no, then miss me with that. If you don't want all of me and everything that comes with me, and to make sure that I feel safe and I feel wanted, because, yeah, you cheer for them, you know, Saturdays when they're playing football or whenever they're playing basketball. But if they weren't playing basketball, you wouldn't want them on the campus. Oh, those are some DEI students. Get them out of here. But when they can make your university millions, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars, then it's a whole different kind of relationship. Oh, you love them. No, you love the money that they make for you, your university. You don't love them. You don't give a shit about them as people. You just love the money they bring and what they can do financially for your university and for you, school administrators and all that. So, Dr. Al Greer, my man, Dr. Al Greer, brother, you made my day. Hey, Rosalind, how are you? Thank you for watching, Rosalind. And Brother Greer, I hope you are still watching, man. I appreciate you, man. Knowing you watching, it made my day. That's Dr. Al Greer, brilliant brother. Knowing him since our college days at Columbia College. He's a doctor now. You were always a brilliant brother, Dr. Greer. Let me know where you reach out to me. Shoot me an email at my Gmail, Geno Jones Show. I'd love to have you on, Brother Greer. Let me know where you're teaching. I would love to speak to your young people. I'd be honored. So please, Dr. Greer, if you're watching, Brother Al Greer, man, please reach out to me. Somebody that knows Brother Greer, tell him to reach out to me. Shoot me an email, GenoJonesShow@gmail, and shoot me email. Give me your contact number, and then I'll call you. I'll call you. I'll email you. I'll respond to your email, but I'll call you, and we can kind of catch up. So hopefully you are still watching. And Rosalind, thank you. Everybody else, thank you for watching me live. Please let everybody know about the show. So please copy and paste the link. You can put it in a text message, an email. You can share this episode, like I said, by copying and pasting the link, or you can just share it you can tag people, send it to your friends and followers and family, your fans, any and everybody. Start with an F or not an F, just all those in your circle, in your universe. Please send them a copy, and please encourage them to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am somewhere a little less than 250 new subscribers for my media company, getting a monthly check from YouTube, becoming a YouTube partner. So my goal is to get 100,000 by June, and the ultimate goal is to get 1 million. But I want to have 100,000. That's a big number. But you all can do it. I have faith in you. You guys have supported my show, supported this channel. This is going on. This is year 5. In October will be the 5th year anniversary. So we've been doing this show for over 4 years, and about 4.5 years now, because we started in the beginning of October in 2020. I was going to say 2020 here, or 2020. So thank you for watching. Once again, it is so important that we support Black-owned media and platforms and voices like mine, and not just mine. There's so many other great Black voices, not just here on YouTube. We have people that have their own media companies and platforms. Shout out to Brother Roland Martin with his Black Star Network, but everybody, there's so many folks, that's doing some really good shows in the podcast space, but a lot of folks have YouTube channels here. Shout out to folks like Don Lemon, my man Rick Party, and I know I'm leaving out some folks, but it's important that you support our platforms and support Black-owned media and those who actually have a Black-owned media company like I do. So if you would like to financially support my media company, you can individually Make a donation. No donation is too small or too large. You can Zelle me, Geno Jones. You see that sign behind me? That's how you spell Geno Jones. And then you go to Zelle, type in Geno Jones, and then type in the number 843, and it'll take you to my Zelle account, all right? So on Zelle, Geno Jones, type in the number 843, or you can Cash App me. On Cash App, I am all one word, $, Dad G Jones. That's all one word, $, capital D, lowercase a-d, capital G, capital J-O-N-E-S, $, Dad G Jones. All right. Shout out to Mr. Mark L. Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out. He is on Instagram or IG, Kel B Cutting Up, the CEO of Designer Cuts, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. You can check her and her Lexi Jones collection out at lx.ncl_. lx.ncl_. And a big shout out to Mr. Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant to the show. You can check him out on, well, he's on Instagram. Bruce, it's Miglio Di Mario Uomo. Miglio Di Mario Uomo. So just type in M-A-R-I-O. Uomo is U-O-M-O. U-O-M-O. And he is Bruce Gage, G-A-G-E, on Facebook. Check out, he is always like a year and a half, two ahead, from a year and a half to 2 years ahead in terms of what the new fashions and the new look is going to be, especially for men. And he carries some women clothes also. So you can check all that out. Check out his main line, his Mario Uomo. That's his own special line. But he can also, there's a custom, so the Mario Uomo line, they have one line, then they have a special, like a couture, if you want something custom made. Mario Uomo, his Mario Uomo line can do that too. So check him out. All right, shout out, thank you everybody. Shout out to City Vibes Bar and Lounge, sponsors of the Geno Jones Show, 9730 Dorchester Road. Big shout out to Corey and Kenya Williams. Shout out to the Crate Group, one of the top nonprofits in America, and their CEO, Mr. Kendrick Bannister. You can check out the Crate Group on Facebook, or go Crate Group, www.crate, C-R-A-T-E, that's C-R-A-T-E, thecrategroup.org. City Vibes on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you, Dr. Al Greer. Hope you're still watching. Yes, Chicago is in the house. Chicago is in the house. So shout out to Dr. Al Greer. Shout out to Rosalind Anderson. Everybody else watching me live, I love you. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, I love you. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.